Alright, I got some pictures to show. For some reason I'm not drawing good at all today, so I'm going to show you these other drawings so you can see better what I mean. Like here's a face, and this is what I mean by kind of doing the perspective is if you notice like this sits on this line, and all the other lines converge. They're going back into space. Like here, for example, so if you think of it like a cube, like see that line it follows? Like if you think of it in 3 dimensions, all these lines will go back. Like there, the nose is like at the brow, the chin. And that's kind of what I'm saying is don't be so concerned about perspective as much as it is, think of everything in space. Like if something doesn't look right, like a lot of times, that's the reason why. Like for example, here's a really good drawing. It's just like, see, he's walking in space, and it's the idea that all this around him is in space. So like the perspective, think of all around him as one big cube, and you have all these lines around. That's the basic idea. It's just, that's why his foot here is here, and this one's back, and you can tell it's behind this one, and it works on those lines. That's kind of the idea that I'm trying to draw here. Like here's some other examples that are really good. Like see, this is really, really good. It takes me a long time to draw, and that's what sucks up. I was rushing the drawings and they weren't coming out good. But like, see that foot right there, it's even with this other foot. But if he steps forward, it's going to have to fall on that same line of perspective. And that's the basic idea. The idea is, see, like, so I'll just draw that foot real quick to show you what, like, so the idea is if you're drawing a foot, a leg, let's say, this is the basic outline, and it's on the ground, like so. Now, say it follows a line, it's going into space like that. So the foot's going to fall on this line, and it's going to wherever that point may be. And then you have all these lines running this way. Now if that foot's going to move back, so say we wanted to move back, this wouldn't look right. This is the point. Like if we draw the foot and it was moving back, yet somehow the foot ended up here, that would be incorrect. So you have to think like if the foot's moving back, like say he's about to kick a soccer ball and he's getting his leg ready. That's the idea, is it's going to land on that line. The foot's going to land on that line like so. So that's the same foot. So like that's correct and that's correct. And that's the basic idea behind this perspective. And then if you're just going to make it straight, this foot would line up again on there, and then say if it's extended even further, it would go about here. So what this other 2-point though, the 2-point perspective, you have all these lines, say, going back towards that way. So this pelvis, the pelvis is going to go back in that direction, like so. And so that means the other foot would be here. The leg would come down and would have to run on another line going in that same direction. And that's the basic idea. It's like, so this foot could end up here, this foot could be here, this is the back foot. It could stretch all the way out here. But that's the basic idea of this, understanding kind of this perspective. And once you get the hang of it, it becomes easier. And I'll just show you more drawings. So see, once again, like these legs, for example. See, everything's in perspective. Here's a really good example. It's a whole room, and it's in deep space, but as you can see, like all the foot's fall on that line, all the body parts. Like so. Oh, here's a good one. See, he's laying down, and he even drew like a little briefcase to show how the briefcase sits on these lines. My dad's home. And see how when the foot is out, when the foot is like that, see it lays on that line that goes up with this path. And so think of it as cubes. I'm going to draw real quick and then I'll end the video, and then we can go on to something that will help a lot. But just, what was that noise? So say we're drawing a cube again. I'm not worried about the points, but say something like that. And the body would sit on that. So say parallel line up, and it'd be like, that'll be the top of the body, and that'll be the bottom. And so if you start thinking of it in space, like say we're drawing the torso in a very cube form, like geometric, but there, that's how you can start to think of it in space. That would be there. So say the belly button would be there, and then you could start fleshing out the pecs, so you could start making it rounder how you like. But then the leg would have to fall in that line. So say the foot would fall there, and remember the shape of the leg is like a wedge shape. So if you get good at perspective, it would have to be something like that, and it would fall in that same line of that. Then the head would be about like, say it would be about right here. And say we'll even draw the head as a box. It'll be something like that. The lines would sit there. But that's the basic idea. Is if you start thinking of it in 3 dimensions, like right now I'm drawing in little cube shapes, but you can start to see like everything's starting to attach. Like so, and these lines still, even the lines up here and the lines here, all going to the same one point that's out here, and all these lines are converging to the point here. But that's the basic form. Thanks. I'm going to do something foreshortening next and do more of this.